Welcome to our Wednesday Homebuyer Seminar. I'm Bill Gross, along with my good friends,
Patricia.Castillo.
and
And Gustavo Segura. Hello.
we get together every Wednesday, usually at 5 p.m. like today, to talk about all things buying houses, how to save money, the strategy for getting houses, where's the market at, and all that. And so where's the market at? I mean, I don't know about you. I'm strapped in. We got a lot going on. I got closings are closing. Buyers seem to be still highly motivated. What do you see going on?
Yep. I mean, I'm there right there with you, Bill. I just had two closings last
Oh,
week,
y-
and is my internet okay?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So two closings last week, have a few more
You're a little
coming
too
up.
good looking, so tone it down a little bit. You're a little too good looking, so we don't want to distract the listeners. Go ahead.
It's because I have my earpods on, so I'm not sure if you can hear me well. But um, one of the things that I've been hearing lately from buyers is that, the right home isn't out there for me. And you have to, as a buyer, really open up your mind and just have that vision past what you actually see, right? And what I mean by that is because we are in a tight inventory market right now, you may not see the exact floor plan you're looking for or the three bath home. You might see a two bath home. But some of those things, rather than looking at them like challenges or stumbling blocks on your home buyer journey, this can actually be an opportunity because other buyers that are having the same idea may walk away from this home, leaving you with that opportunity to purchase it and then customize it down the road. So it's just that's what I've been talking to my clients about this week. It's really about what are your goals with your home. Are you going to be there for 5 years, maybe 10 years? If that's the case, then it's worth taking advantage of these opportunities right now because we're still in a tight inventory market. And
Yeah.
with the rates going down just a little bit today, I think they're at 7.6 for a 30-year fix. We're going to start seeing more competition come out, more buyer competition. So it's really about taking advantage of the opportunities that are here today instead of waiting and paying more money down the future because you wanted an extra bathroom. You can add that on later, but get into a home of today's price rather
Yeah.
than paying more for this home, in another year or so.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that I do a real estate meme stream, humor, where we make kind of find things to laugh about real estate.
Hmm.
And one of them is the picture of a person who died waiting for the market to crash from 2015 on. I've heard that all the time, and I think I appreciate the fact that it's difficult getting a property given the prices and rates and all that. But there's not going to, I don't, unless there's a major catastrophic economic decline. Now that's a different story. But based on where we are today, we can't have a crash because there's not enough houses to sell to create a crash. And
Sure.
there's a lot of factors as to why. We're not building anymore. Certainly here in LA, we're not building more houses or not building many more compared to what we used to build.
Right.
So there's not going to be many more houses, and people who are in houses with low rates aren't going to give those rates up unless they have to. So
Right.
the prospects of a crash are unlikely. Now there's a decline in activity. That's a different story. There's less sales, and I think that's, as you said, Patricia, is the opportunity. Just a real quick to highlight what you talked about on the rates this week. All year long, we've been between 6 to 7%, and around the beginning of August, we bumped above 7. And every week,
Way up
well,
above 7.
714, 734, 748, and then all of a sudden now we're down back to 7.06. And so for the last 3 weeks, this is like a low for the last 3 weeks, which is some relief for those buyers who are in escrow if they didn't get the rate locked in, and so they can get out of those deals, or sellers also. So, Gustavo, what are you seeing as far as the rate lock situation and the market moving so quickly? What's that do to deals you have in process? And I'm sure you're trying to draw docs last week at last week's rates. Now customers might be looking for a lower rate. How does that affect your business?
Yeah, no, I agree. So like you said, a couple of weeks ago, we went from decade, record highs of the rate jumping up there, 7.5 and plus. And then now we're in the last 2 days, we recover a good portion of that. So during those times when you have someone that is not locked in, they lose $25,000 in purchasing power, right? So that's those conversations that we need to have. And it's hard because maybe they can't get that location anymore or that extra bedroom, and they get a little bit disappointed. But this market has been up and down so many times that my feedback to them is, let's just wait a little bit. Don't get disappointed. Let's wait for 2 weeks. Let's wait for 3. There's new reports coming out. There's inflation reports. There's a job market report coming out on Friday. And if we have a low outcome on that, that could be really good for rates. Tomorrow we have the PCE report. So every week there's something that comes out that's moving the needle. And right now that bond market is reacting a lot to a lot of these reports coming out. Last week it was the Fed chairman being in Jackson Hole and going over and having a nationwide meeting with all of the different banks. So it's one of those things that the market is just carefully looking at what's going to be the next report and what is the job market going to tell us, and then they react. So I tell people to be patient, don't get scared. Next week could be a lower rate, and just be patient so that we can get them into that home.
So you sent over some information regarding the.
Well, you guys were talking about the crash, and
Yeah.
I had that quick screenshot of a presentation that I've done before, and this is just an idea of, like you guys said, unemployment back there was double digits. Look at the total number of inventory. Back then it was like 4 million. It's about 4 lines down. Right now we're under 800,000. So you have delinquencies in the mortgage, and you have the foreclosures. Look at those differences before. So it's really something that, like you said, we're not going to have this flood of inventory coming in, where all of a sudden someone that is buying a home now needs to be worried that in 6 months or in a year, their house is going to be so devalued like it was in 2008, where they were losing 25, 30, 40% equity.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I think you're right on that, and I think the excitement of the market. Every time they have a meeting in Jackson Hole, it seems like the whole world's all paying attention to it. And I wonder if the Super Bowl gets as much attention as those meetings. Wyoming, it used to be a kind of a getaway, no-name place. Now, like, the whole world's watching what's happening in Jackson Hole. In fact, I saw an interesting video about the Chinese real estate market, and I guess China being so big, they make entire cities, they're replicas of world cities. So they have a city replica of Paris with the Eiffel Tower knockoff, kind of like Las Vegas, and they have a city knockoff of London with the London Bridge and such. And they have a city that knocks off Jackson Hole, Wyoming, because it's so well known. And of course, it's looking at this little rustic getaway place. But anyhow, there you go. I digress a little bit. So okay. So I had this experience, Gustav, and I want to ask you. I'm a listing agent primarily. I work primarily with sellers, but occasionally work with buyers, and I get offers in from lenders, and I get offers with these low down payment programs. Zillow announced last week that they're going to be offering a special program, only 1% down. Sounds exciting. Only in Arizona, only on new home buyers, which means really nobody can really qualify for it today. But I do see these programs, and I have one recently that's going to documents to close finally, where it's in the city of Los Angeles, this MIPA program. I guess there's a LIPA and a MIPA, low income and middle income, or moderate income. And it looks like it's happening. It looks like they're going to close this deal with a really nice second that really, if you want to protect yourself from a housing crash, what would be better than a city silent second? Have you done these programs? Are these legitimate? Is this something that buyers should look into?
Not the one that you just mentioned, but yes, these programs are legit as far as, you got the LA County one, you have other programs within the city. I know Santa Ana here in Orange County has different ones where they will give you a grant, or they have these silent seconds. Sometimes it has that 0%, or sometimes they have a 1%, but they are good programs where they go ahead and they help you towards closing costs or down payment. Now, as you can imagine, everybody is they can only take so many, right? So there's a lot of people that are maybe lined up for it, just like the Dream for All, and it goes by really quick. So it's one of those things that you almost do have to get lucky. And if you get one of those, hey, you won the lotto and you're good, right? So yes, it can happen and it does work out. I've also been getting a lot of news, like you said, about the 1%. A lot of times these lenders will come out with, hey, we'll give you 2%. You put down one, but then you're capped out at $4,000 max.
Right.
So in that case, that means that your loan amount or your home purchasing power is only going to be for like $200,000. So that
Well,
doesn't work out very well around here.
yeah, a lot of these programs are just designed to get people on the website. When Zillow runs it, I do a weekly market commentary. When Zillow runs a new program, it's just designed to get people to go on the website. They're not really selling
The
houses
clickbait.
for a living. It is
Yeah.
clickbait. Speaking of
Right.
clickbait, Rudy Castillo reaches out and says hi to Patricia. I don't get a hello from Rudy Castillo.
Hi.
And
Hi, Rudy.
and Gustavo doesn't get a shout out from anybody. Why is Patricia when it gets a shout out? Rudy,
Maybe
you can
because
say
we have the same last name.
oh, I just caught that. Okay. And
Yeah.
is that a coincidence or is that because there's a relationship there?
No, it's just coincidental.
I mean, you're not family of his. He's just a
No.
fan. A fan happens to have your same last name.
Watching.
How about that?
Yes, he's one of our viewers. So welcome, Rudy, and thank you for watching.
Okay, Rudy. I'm feeling very left out, Rudy. I wish I also got shout outs, but nobody seems to appreciate me. So,
What
okay.
I think
So,
we should kind of dive into just a little bit really quick is
yes,
the silent second.
7 seconds.
That takes off some of the pressure from having to make those an extra mortgage payment, because when you have a second, you have a payment on the first loan, then you have a payment on the second loan, right? So can you go into that a little bit more in detail, Gustavo, about the silent second and how that benefits our home buyers?
Yeah, so there's no interest on that, right? So then it's just basically you have that when you paying that back, there's no additional interest that you're paying on that. So that's really a great opportunity. So some of these programs that have those silent seconds where you're not making that payment, and then when it is due, you go ahead and you pay it, but they have 0% on it. That's a really great opportunity because they basically didn't make any money on that silent second. They gave you flexibility. Maybe there was a higher interest rate that was being charged, and that's how maybe they're making some money on that on the first loan, depending on the loan program. But that's really good. If you can get those kinds of programs, that's the best thing that you can get. And even if there is something on there as far as like a 1% or something, every situation is different. So for some people, that could still be a great opportunity because without that program, they may not have been able to get $30,000 or $20,000 for that down payment or the
Right.
closing costs. So that ultimately gets them into that home. And we've seen it how year after year, they're getting that 5% appreciation or 7% appreciation. And next thing you know, after 5 years, you got $100,000 there in appreciation and value that would not have been able to get without those kinds of programs. So the programs are great. We just have to look at the guidelines for it because sometimes when you refinance, you have to pay those off. And in this case scenario right now, where you're getting a rate that maybe it's, let's say, 7%, and in a year you're able to refinance and get down to a 6, and you have to pay that loan off, that's not the right situation for you because you don't have that money, to pay that off. But
Yeah, and maybe in the
if
course
you
over
are
like 3 years, they might have the equity, right?
exactly, and then you refinance, you lower that, you pay that off, and you're good. But that's where some of the programs allow you to do a one-time refinance. That way you can lower your payment, be able to benefit from the market conditions, not have to pay the loan right away. And then later on, like you said, after 4 years, 5 years, then you can pay it off. So as I say, the devil's in the details, right, of the different loan programs. And that's where you're really able to see what's going to come next.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
I
all it
think the
takes
moral
is
of
a
the
quick
story
phone
is
call.
talk to an
Yeah,
experienced lender like Gustavo or an agent who can connect you like Patricia, and we'll get it put together for you.
that's right.
Hey,
That's right. We're here to help.
we are live streaming this on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, my social media, Patricia's social media. So if you watch us live, feel free to put a comment in the chat box. No more shout outs for Patricia till I get at least one. I'm a little sensitive to that. No, feel free to shout whoever you want or ask
So
questions.
sensitive, Bill.
And it's I'm really very sensitive. And after, if you're watching the recording of this, input comments, we will be glad to try to circle back and answer them. And Rudy then again chimes in with the devil's in yes, the devil's always in the fine print. Yes.
Right.
And there you go. There you
Yep.
go, Rudy. Bill, you rock. Okay, Rudy,
Go,
thank
Bill.
you. You now are a Hall of Fame member of our call. Thank you so much. And a shout out to Bill. Look at that.
Go,
Okay.
Bill. Go, Bill.
Go, Bill. Go, Bill. Go, Bill. Okay. Good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Because I'm very insecure and I need that. Thank you very much, Rudy. I appreciate that. Okay. Bill 2, Patricia 1. Okay, not that I'm counting. It's not really about how many shout outs you get. It's really about the value you create for your customers. Okay, final words here. Let's wrap up. Gustavo, what Labor Day weekend coming up. A good time to buy and lock in a rate,
Yeah.
bad time to buy and lock in a rate. What do you think?
Yeah, so tomorrow is going to be one key date. The PCE reports, it's a form of inflation measurement that they're going to be looking at. So that's going to be the first day tomorrow. We're going to see how the market reacts. Then Friday, we have job reports coming out. So we're going to take a look at what that comes out. Those 2 days tomorrow will be big indicators of where the rates are going to move if we're going to get a little bit lower into next week. So if it's positive and you are ready and you already got something in contract, I would definitely go ahead and lock it so that you can start the weekend off right. If not, if you're still just shopping around, hopefully it's good news. Then for next week, we can get some lower rates.
Okay, and if you want to lock in a rate with Gustavo, his phone number is right there on front, and then we should be glad to help you. Patricia,
Yep.
what's going on this weekend? Are you doing open houses? You have listings to show people? You taking off? What should people do this weekend?
I have some property to show. We're doing our final walkthrough tomorrow on another property, so it's definitely busy. I just wanted to mention that 58% of first-time home buyers are saying that the right home is not out there for them. So just commenting back on what I was mentioning earlier, this is a great time to weed out all that competition and look at what opportunities are there for you. So this may be the right time for you, and you could have that opportunity to customize a home, have the freedom to add another bathroom or whatever the case may be, maybe expand the living room and make it bigger into the floor plan you want. So don't miss out on these opportunities. Don't look at the market as a challenging market. It's a very opportunistic market at this time. So if you have any questions, give us a call. We're here to help.
And thank you. And I'm here to help as well. I'm Bill Gross. I'm on social media at Bill Gross Probate, and look forward to having a fantastic weekend for all of you who are working. We're working on Friday. If you're a real estate agent, we have our Agents Helping Agents program in Diamond Bar. We do it the first Friday of the month, and we're going to hold it this week because some agents really need to get going. This is, for real estate agents, this is not the market to take it easy. This is the market to really put your effort in, not extra days necessarily, but don't let off the gas. And if you have momentum, I have to tell you, I've got 5 pending escrows, and 3 of them are going to close here the next week or so. One with you, Patricia.
Yeah.
Momentum is the energy. Like, this is the time to use if you have it. And if you don't, get started right now. So if you're a real estate agent in the area, look up Agents Helping Agents in Diamond Bar. Just show up, register. It's 9:00 a.m. at the Holiday Inn in Diamond Bar. Free breakfast. Say hi. But Patricia, you plan to go there this time?
I'm gonna try to make it this Friday.
Now that she's a big time listing agent, she's kind of iffy. She used to come all the time when she was young and hungry, and now she's like all that and a bag of chips. So.
I'm still hungry.
Well, I'm hungry too. I've got dinner about half an hour, so I'm always hungry. Okay, guys, thanks so much. Gustavo, thank you. Patricia, thank you so much. Everybody watching.
Thank
Rudy,
you.
thank you so much. Team Castillo. Where are you at, Rudy? Where do you do business at? Get out there and rock it for sure. Do you know Rudy? Where's he do business?
I can't recall at the moment.
Okay, well, Rudy, thank you for being on the call. Good luck to you. Hey, come by if you're in the area. If you're in Southern California, come by Diamond Bar Friday morning. Free breakfast. Say
That's
hi.
right,
Let's
free
do some
coffee.
agent helping out. Free coffee, some
Coffee's
fruit.
good.
Okay, coffee is very good, especially in the morning.
It is.
Okay, guys, have a great week. We'll talk to you guys soon.
Bye.